Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. A lot of the Florida Gator fans know what I'm going to say. Just another day, another Florida Gator commitment in the 2025 class. This one coming from four-star safety Hylton Stubbs, flipping his commitment from Miami to Florida. I've been very vocal. This is one of my favorite defensive backs in the 2025 cycle. And you kind of look across the recruiting services. There are some services that really like this kid, most notably Rivals, the number 23 national prospect, second best safety in the 2025 class. There is so much to like about Hylton Stubbs as a football player. And I think just as importantly, so much to like about how he fits in to how Florida wants to run their defense in the back end. Really, really versatile. And I think Hylton Stubbs really kind of specializes, kind of being that single high ball hawking safety. When that football is in the air, you're not going to find many safeties that have better instincts in terms of going up and grabbing the football than a guy like Hylton Stubbs. But then he can also come into the box and give you quite adequate run support. 97 tackles his junior year, a guy that can come in and tackle, a guy that can play the back end, take the football away. That's something worth noting. You know, in 2023, a large part of our conversation with this Florida Gators defense was we're not forcing any turnovers. What was it? 3 interceptions all of 2023. Take a look at what Florida's getting in the 2025 class. Hylton Stubbs, in my opinion, one of the best ball hawking safeties that you see in the 2025 cycle. And then cornerback Ben Hanks, who I believe just set a high school county record his senior year with 13 interceptions. Florida's grabbing some ball hawking defensive backs. I think we're going to see a lot of turnovers over the next couple of years in Gainesville. Really excited to get into this film. One of my favorite prospects in the 2025 cycle. Now, before we get into it, as always, to the Florida fans, it's been busy the last couple of days and really the last couple of weeks. It doesn't sound like it's stopping anytime soon. So if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Can't thank you guys enough for all the support y'all have shown the boys. Without further ado, let's get into Hylton Drake Stubbs. And again, I think it starts with there are some recruiting services that see this kid as one of the best safeties in the 2025 cycle. And I would be somebody that kind of agrees with that evaluation. It doesn't take you very long when you turn on the film for Hylton Stubbs. Not only does he have all the physical traits you're looking for, right? 6'1", 190, really, really good athlete that covers a ton of ground in the back end. The football IQ is off the charts in terms of sitting back, reading the quarterback's eyes, understanding what's happening in front of them, and then going making plays on the football. That's something that's hard to evaluate at the high school ranks. A lot of times we're just looking at physical traits, but you kind of know it when you see it. When you see guys that just understand what they're doing on the football field, Hylton Stubbs is one of those guys. Now, turning on the film, and we're just going to briefly go over a little bit of what his junior year looked like, and it starts with just what he can do operating as that high safety. One, a ton of range. I mean, he sees the quarterback staring this one down all the way. I'm going to start making my move. Look how much ground he covers, like opposite hash to the boundary, going up, making a play. It's the definition of ball hawk. And I think secondly, kind of working as that single high safety, seeing what's in front of him. He's looking right at this wide receiver that's working to that center of the field, then looking at the quarterback, clicking and closing. And it's not just closing. It's going out and making a play on the football. This kid just gets his hands on so many different ways he can get his hands on footballs. Another example of him working as a single high safety. Really, really good instincts here. And I think you're going to see something like, you go back, really, really composed, like knows what he's doing. And then the range. Like, I think that's an important part too. One, it's one thing to know what you're doing. And then number two, do you have the physical traits and the physical ability to go out and make it happen on the football field, stopping on a dime, flipping the hips, going up, playing the football in the air? He seems really comfortable, like winning those one-on-one contested catch situations as a safety. That's something important. And we talk about this all the time. It's hard to find defensive backs that play the football well. Hylton Stubbs does it. Continuing to work through the film, seeing this an absolute mile away, and hey, we're gonna go make plays. And one of the things you'll see when you turn on the some of his stuff from his junior year, the football just always winds up in his hands. That's a good problem to have when you're a safety. And like, yeah, maybe it's a little bit of luck there, but it's also an element of just him being in the right place at the right time. Love this, like identifying what's happening real quick, firing downhill, being physical at the point of attack. Safeties need to tackle, whether it's coming in and fitting the run, whether it's playing some of that stuff in the flat. Again, another aspect of him just getting the football in his hands. Again, I don't know how it happens all the time, but it just seems like he always has the football. That's really, really important, the ability to tackle. And you see Hylton Stubbs have that physicality that you're looking for as well. You continue to work through the film, you see some really good things. And I think right here, you're going to see some man coverage, which is important. Like we know Austin Armstrong, Coach Roberts, they want to bring pressure packages. And when you decide to blitz, you got to have your safeties being able to hold up in man coverage. I think Drake Stubbs can do that as well. Clean hips, ball in the air, go make a play, take it the other way. Now, I think what's really exciting for Florida fans, one, take a look at the 2025 class. We say it pretty much every single day at this point. It's from outside the top 50 to inside the top 15. And now it's trending to be a top 10 class in the country. And it just sounds like there's some more meat left on the bone in terms of what this Florida class could be in 2025. And I think if your first thought here, Mandarin to Gainesville, Florida, right? You have Tramel Jones. Now you have Hylton Stubbs. Go get one more and Jamie French. And this would, to me, is like you combine Jamie French and Vernell Brown in this class, playing with DJ Lagway the next couple of years. That's going to be an extremely dangerous offense. And I think if you're Jamie French, one, all your boys are going to Gainesville. I think number two, how can you not want to go play for DJ Lagway if you're a young, talented wide receiver? I mean, the future on the offensive side of the football seems so bright for Florida. There's no way having Tramel Jones and Hylton Stubbs can hurt your chances at flipping Jamie French. And everything you kind of read, and I'm no insider, it sounds like there's still that possibility. So we'll see how that plays out. And hey, while you're at going out and getting Jacksonville native players, go check in on Solomon Thomas too. He doesn't play at Mandarin, but he is from Jacksonville, Florida. Knows all these guys. Solomon Thomas, another name to watch. And I think what's so exciting is one, we saw the momentum building for Florida, probably starting 14 days ago after that win against LSU, and you kind of felt the momentum building. Not only is the momentum building clearly for Florida, it's building with some really, really special prospects. I mean, you talk about some of the names we've broken down. Joseph Mabachu, arguably the most physically gifted defensive lineman we see in the class. A guy that, yeah, he's going to take a year or two, but from a ceiling standpoint, there's not many that have better traits. And you four-star offensive tackle Tavares Dice. Now we're talking about top 100 Hylton Stubbs. We're talking about Jaden Woods. I'm talking about Jamie French and Solomon Thomas. These, and not any disrespect to three-star commits, but these guys are legitimate difference makers at their positions. And it seems like Florida's just the bigger and bigger fish as we get closer to signing day. We'll see how it ends up. A lot of names left to potentially go to Florida. We'll see how it ends up. Again, appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to y'all later.